Doug from Yaskawa here at FabTech, and I'm at ARC Specialties booth. Here with Dan Allford. So he's the president of ARC Specialties. We love some of the technology that they've been showcasing around, and so I want Dan to take us through what they're demonstrating today. And with that, Dan, take it away.
What we thought we'd show at the show was my two favorite adaptive control technologies, because without adaptive control, robots are limited to parts that are repeatable. And my world's not repeatable. My world's far from perfect. And so are most of the weldments we work on. And so there's a couple of ways to do that, because there's no one solution. So we're showing off laser stripe tracking, and we're showing off through the arc tracking. These are the two technologies that work well for me. Laser works great, but you have to have a separate sensor, and it leads the torch. But it's fast. Through the arc works great. You're using the wire as the sensor. It allows you to track grooves, actually track widths of grooves to adaptive fill. So they're both similar. One advantage to through the arc is you don't have the bulky sensor. If you're working in confined spaces, you might go this way. If you want something that goes quicker, you might use laser. So we thought we'd show off both technologies to everybody. Plus, you know, we've always got beer bought. At 3 o'clock today, come on over. We'll have a beer.
So let's take a closer look at what you've got over here on the laser. So you're using servo robot as well, which we're used to. And so walk us through this now.
So with any weld groove, you need to know your starting point, the width of the groove, and everything. So what the robot's doing is it's finding that start. You can see the stripe go across there. And we've got it set up so you can move it, and that's to demonstrate what this actually does. This works great on heavy parts. So we're working on some 1-inch thick parts right now back at the shop, and we're using this to weld all the passes, all the way from root to cap. So it's great technology, fast, doesn't require touch work, does have a bulky laser.
We can get over that bulky laser if it's doing the work though, right?
Right, and sometimes it's the best solution,
yes,
but not always. So if, for example, we were working in a really tight place where we had no room to mount the laser sensor on the front of the torch. There simply was no room. We're having to weld right up against a bulkhead. And so in that case, this might be the right technology. So we're using touch work. Touch work allows the robot to find the part by touching it and checking for electrical continuity. Sounds great, but it's somewhat slower because we have to approach the part slowly. So in this case, we're welding bolt circles. That's a common problem. Everybody wants to weld up bolt circles. So all you have to enter is the bolt circle diameter, the number of bolt holes, the diameter, and the depth. And once you do that, this system will go touch off on one of the holes, touch off on another hole. You tell it which of the two you're looking at, and then it will automatically program and weld these parts from root to cap. In fact, there's a weld sample right there. And so it's a cross section. This was, I think it was 25 millimeter diameter and maybe 50 millimeter depth. And the robot found this hole and then welded it up from root to cap. We call it hole negator.
Hole negator. Yep, I've seen one of your videos on that. So,
yeah.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate the walkthrough, and looking forward to seeing more from you.
Come back anytime.